These niggas only had the lead after that last goal they had. Ready? Yep. Juwan next to Don.
Except my STEEZ know what's going on. Yes, Lord.
I'm bringing y'all post-game review. Essendon versus Saints.
At Marvel Stadium.
So coming into this game, man, so I tipped the Saints. I tipped the Saints. I did tip the Saints. I thought the Saints were just going to be a more put-together team, more consistent team. I thought the Saints were just slightly better. I don't think either of these teams. Okay, let me put it like this. I think these two teams are going to be fighting to make the 8, but I can see both of them missing. I can see them being like 10, 10, 9, 11 spots somewhere around there. So that being said, I thought it was going to be a good game. I thought the Saints were better. I was right about one of those things.
Yeah. So for me coming in, I was still just waiting for the Essendon fall off. Really, both of these teams last year, actually, and the Saints more so have a habit of starting the season really hot and then just falling off the cliff. And that's what both of these teams did last season. So realistically, there was a fight to be expected for both of these teams if there was about to be any type of repeat of how last year was, if there were any similarities between how the teams are performing this year. And we did actually get that. We did get a tough, contested, physical brand of footy and from both sides. And it was actually very, very entertaining to the end of the game, all like that.
So, before getting into the game, shout out to Nick Martin, bro. Got there.
I don't want to skip him a shout, but
tied Essendon record for most disposals in the game at 44. He was going crazy all game. I think first half, if you pay attention to fantasy or know how that worked, he had, I think, like 98 at halftime. Definitely a slower second half, but still very effective. Still was there to the very end. I mean, 44 disposals is just insane. Team record, so shout out to that boy. Beginning into the game, Saints came in hot, right? All right, so I'm still kind of excited because this was a really good game to the end. I want to talk about the end first. And I don't know if that's right. So,
so in the beginning of the game, it was interesting, bro. How did the game really go?
I don't know.
The end took away from the beginning. It was a physical game, though. For me, I liked the pressure that the Saints were bringing, but I did notice in the beginning how the Saints weren't giving as much forward pressure. Yeah. And so I was wondering if that was going to be something that was problematic toward the end. And one can argue that was something. But no, just all in all, it was just a battle of the midfield. I think Jack Steele had played pretty well, bro. I'm struggling right now. It's a fucking game, bro.
Yeah. I'll put it like this, bro. This was a very entertaining game on both sides of the footy. And you never knew who was going to win this game. Saints had the early lead. They actually held the lead to the last 5 minutes of the game. And Essendon just thorns on the side. Saints definitely had the faster start, but Essendon kind of chilled shit out. I think, shout out again to Nick Martin. He kind of stabilized the midfield going into the second quarter. It just bled over to the second half, and Essendon, they just had a slow momentum creep the whole game, and Saints kind of they fell off towards the second half.
They did. I think they controlled the ball. They controlled more of how the game's flow, the flow of the game, if you will, more so in the first half, and in the third, quarter, really. So Essendon took this game back by controlling the clearances. That's what they were doing, really. And Zach Merritt really lifted them in the fourth quarter too. And really, he's really key to the team, to Essendon, whenever they get going. They really need him. And I will say he's a dominant player in the middle whenever Essendon does need something to happen. Because you see, like, there hasn't been much consistency. Setterfield was out this game. Parrish has been out. And Mary is that one constant that keeps him going in the midfield. And he does have a lot of leadership qualities, I think, that I like for them. And I think I want to say he was the biggest piece in Essendon's comeback. But I also want to highlight Kyle Langford, too, because he was one of the key forwards, really holding it down there. He was able to get a lot of marks inside 50. I don't know the number of them, but he had plenty of goal opportunities. He could have kicked the bag today if he was perfect. But he had one on full, one or two on full, a couple behinds. But he had 3 or 4 goals to finish this game. So it was an impressive fight for Essendon. Essendon brought the fight to the Saints that I usually expect the Saints to have, and the Saints have shown to have. Not just this season, but even in the seasons past when they're playing at their best. And yeah, Essendon has been punked before by Luke Parker specifically, and just other teams. Yeah. Just that they're not the physical team that they should be, because they're a little midfield and stuff like that. But they brought the fight. They stayed with it. There was never. Cullen wasn't in the comments saying, "Can I call it?" Nobody really. Essendon was never really fully out of the game, and the effort led you to believe that it was still a possibility for them to come back. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. And shout out to Stringer too for making some really clutch goals.
Yeah.
Because when it was coming to that last stretch, it was hard for Essendon to find a goal. I think they had plenty of opportunities and just weren't converting when the Saints had the lead, and Stringer kind of put the team on his back, hit a big goal right from outside 50. So definitely shout out to Stringer for the clutch one.
And nobody was really able to get something there for a moment.
Yeah.
It was kind of just a stalemate. It was an arm wrestle in that last.
Yeah. You could kind of tell the Saints just weren't up for the challenge, it seemed like.
We both did call it that. We were saying, who was it in the comments that had asked who we think will have a big second half, and we were saying we think it was just the way the momentum was going.
Yeah.
Essendon was really wrestling the way. It was just a slow like Essendon momentum climb, and then the Saints were just dwindling, just slowly and slowly.
Yeah, that's all I got for this game, man. Definitely a good game to watch. Definitely recommend it. Best game of the week so far. So far. Oh, you good?
That's probably everything I got to for that game.
Yeah. So y'all like, comment, subscribe. We live right now, matter of fact. But may not be when you watching this, but we could be.
Haha.
So tune in, all that. Yeah. I don't be having in this room, bro.